Hello everybody. Well, as we go into lockdown again, let's do another kit build. This is a LED kit build. We can see the LEDs in there. Bit of unusual shape circuit board, which is what attracted me to the kit in the first place. So what we've got in here, LEDs, transistors, an IC and some capacitors. Battery pack. There's the funny shape circuit board. What else have we got? Some diodes, some resistors. Oh, look at that, perfect. They've actually marked them up. 10k, thank you very much. 330. Well, that's going to be handy. That means we don't have to test them. Okay, so let's have a look at this circuit board. Like I said, it's a bit of an unusual shape. We've got the LEDs going around the edge with LED 1 there, going around that way to LED 20. We've got the bank of transistors here, bank of capacitors there, bank of diodes there, resistors all the way across the top. We've got the IC there, some sort of potentiometer there, so I'm guessing there's a variable control. Power goes in there with a switch. It's a 4017 IC, which we know is a counter. It's called a deck counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah blah blah, and then resets. So this looks like some sort of pattern. But interesting that it's got all these transistors in it, which effectively is a switch. So this is going to be an interesting build. Let's see what it does when it's finished. The flip side of it is there. Nothing particularly exciting over the flip side of it. Back to the main side again. Yeah, let's have a look at the other components. Right, here we go. So we've got the diodes are all together, so they're all the same. This is one pack of resistors with the 330 marked in the bottom corner here. Another pack of resistors with the 10k marked there, so that's going to be handy. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. So what we've got here, a load of blue LEDs. Oh, we've got a chip holder for a change. That makes a change, which is good. There's a variable resistor for the speed. Looking at all the capacitors, I haven't checked the values, but they look all the same, but I have to double check that. They're all the same size anyway. All the transistors are the same size anyway, but I have to double check to make sure they're all the same value. So let's just push them to one side for a moment. Bring in my new toy. So I bought one of these LED testers. So let's pick up an LED, give it a test. So on here, we've got plus at the top, minus at the bottom. The long leg is plus, so you pop it in, give it a test. Yep, that's okay. Not working on there. There we go. Yep, so that seems to be working okay without any problems. Good. So we can test all those if we wanted to, but normally LEDs are quite good. There we go. So yeah, I picked this up from eBay, just a cheap LED tester. Right, I hope you can see that all right. So we can see here that all the 330 resistors go across the top. Just try and get it in focus for you. All the 10Ks are next to the transistors, which are on the side here. The transistors are 9013, so they're all the same, which is good. All the capacitors are the same, which is 10 UF, so we don't have to worry about that. These are all the diodes, they're all the same, which is good. and then we've just got a bit of a mixture down here of a couple of transistors, resistors either side, and capacitors in the middle. But the good thing is that they're all the same values, so we don't have to worry about you know, checking them and checking the resistor values and things. So let's build this circuit board up. Right, we've got the circuit board on the vise. What we're going to do first of all is always do the lowest components first. So in our case, this one, the lowest ones are going to be the diodes here, the resistors around the circuit board. So let's have a look at the diodes first. That's these here. And if we look at the diodes, there's a black band on the left hand side here, and that matches up to the band that's on the circuit board there. So we need to install the diodes that way around. So let's take one out. And we'll pop that on the circuit board. Just there. And then that's ready to be soldered into place. Right, that's got all those soldered up okay. So there's a couple of legs there, just nip them off. There we go. Right, so that's got all those done. You saw I had a little solder bridge, but soon got rid of that. So back on this side, look, you can see that the black line are all facing the same way, which is to the left. So that's okay. So I think the next thing we need to do is to look at the resistors. Now there's two resistors that we've got here. This one says 330 and this one says 10k. So I'm going to look at the 330s for first off. Now there's a lot of 330s going across that top, but there's also two 330s there and two 10k. So I'm going to do these first. So let's get two of the 330s off first and put those on. Get the second one out. There we go, and just bending the legs back just to hold it in place, then we can get that soldered up. There we go, that's got them two done. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Let's get rid of those. There we go. Right, so I'm going to do the same now on the other side. So I'm going to just solder the two 10Ks just there. So exactly the same as that, but we're using the 10Ks instead of the 330s. Back with you in a minute. Right, that's got the two 10Ks on there as well now. So that's really all we can do on this side at the moment, because we're trying to keep the components to the lowest ones. So we're going to leave this side. I'm going to move the circuit board so we can access the resistors across the top here, which are also 330. So let's have a quick look at doing that. Right, that's got them moved up, so let's look at these. Now we've got quite a few 330s across the top here, so make sure we've got the right ones. And you've seen me solder these before, so I'm just going to quickly put these 330s in place, and then I shall be back with you in a moment. Now, as you can see, I've just done the last couple of resistors, and we have a slight problem. So I thought I'd just stop the fast forward bit so we can have a closer look and see what the problem is. Right, I'm just going to leave that leg up there for a minute. So let's have a quick look. So we've got what's called a solder bridge. So if you look just here, you can see that we've got a bridge of solder connecting the two connections up, and we don't want that because that's what causes a short. So let's see if we can do something with that. Now, you've seen me do this before, so I'm going to get my soldering iron and I'm going to clean the tip so there's no solder on the tip. I do that with one of these. Out of the way, I'll show you. One of these soldering iron cleaners. You can pick them up from eBay. It's got like a Brillo pad inside it, and literally just put your soldering iron in and give it a twizzle so it cleans it off. Right, back to the circuit board. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So I've got my desoldering pump, and what we're going to do is going to just gently heat up that solder and just suck the solder out the way, like that. There we go. We'll chop that off now. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so it still looks a bit messy in there, doesn't it? Now you can see what's happened there. So the leg of the resistors are actually touching. So let's just see if we can separate them. There we go. So that's just nicely separated them out of the way. We've still got a little bit of a bridge there. So let's just suck that away. There we go. That should be all right now. That looks nice and clean. So let's get rid of the solder bridge. Now I'm a little bit concerned that with desoldering that, I might have damaged the board, so I want to just double check a couple of things. So I've got my multimeter here and it's in continuity mode, so if I put the two prongs together we get the bleep. So first of all, let's just double check that still isn't a short between those two. No, that looks okay, there's nothing there. Now if I touch both of them on the same solder joint, yep, we'll get a bleep and we get a bleep. So let's trace this one here first of all, which the leg comes down the circuit board and splits to these two. So let's just do a continuity test between these two first off. That's okay, into that, yep, into there, yep, that's okay. But there's no line here on the circuit board going anywhere, so let's flip the board over. And let's have a look at that, where that one goes. So it's this pin here, this resistor here, is the leg that goes down that we was having the trouble with. And it's a bit difficult to see, but I can show you. It's the line actually goes underneath this resistor, comes up around here, across here, and to this point here. So let's put one of our probes on there and one on here, and we have a connection through, so that's okay. So there isn't any damage to the lines on the circuit board, so that's okay, so we can carry on. I think we need to do the transistors next. So there's some transistors there and two transistors at the bottom here. So I think what I'll do, I'll just slacken these off. We'll just do the two transistors at the bottom first. So let's reposition the circuit board. Okay, so let's have a bit of a closer look at these transistors. So they're going to go on the bottom. All the transistors are marked up the same, which is 9013. So it says 9013 the far right hand side here, which is the same for all those. 9013 at the bottom there. And if you look at the pattern on the board, we've got a round side and a flat side. And if we look at our transistor, if I can get it to focus, again there's a round side and a flat side. So you just simply pop it on the circuit board with the flat at the top in our case and the round at the bottom. There we go, that's one done. And he says there we go, that's the other one done. So that's got those two pushed through the circuit board okay. So let's solder it up. I'm going to spin it round so it's easier to get to. Now these legs look quite close together, so it's a good job I'm using the soldering iron with the point on it, because they are quite close. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go, it's got those three done. A bit close then, so you've got to be really careful what you're doing. Snip the legs off. There we go, it's got them done. Don't be afraid of going back and just, if you see anything you're not happy with, just snip off any extra long legs. Or even if you see anything that you're not quite happy with the actual soldering, not a problem. You just go back to it and just warm the solder up and just reflow it like that until you're absolutely happy with the solder. So that's okay, that's all them done. Flip it around again. And there's our transistors put on the circuit board. So we'll move the circuit board up and we'll get these in across the top as well. We can put the 10k resistors all the way across there. We can start doing the transistors. So just the same as before, a round side and a flat side. Just follow the image that's on the circuit board, pop them in and solder them up. Right, let's get all the transistors done. So what we've done so far, we've done diodes, done resistors at the top, resistors at the side, bottom here and the transistors. So we've got a row of capacitors to do here. We've got the IC to put on, a couple more capacitors and switches and stuff here. So I think we'll tackle this lot down here then next. So what we do have is an IC holder, which is very nice. Let's see. Just get my leg straightener out. Sure they're all straight, which is good. So, okay, so as before, the little cutout, the pattern on the board just there matches to the cutout of the actual IC holder itself. So let's put that in. There we go. Get a bit of blue tack or something similar just to hold it in place. A bit of solder on the opposite leg, so that's one on there and one on there. Take that blue tack off. I'm just going to hold the basically hold it with my finger underneath and just gently push it up and remelt the solder just to make sure it's close to the circuit board. Yes, it is. We can see just there. See just there, let's turn it around. There we go. We can see that it's nice and close to the circuit board down there. And so now we can solder the other legs up. Right, next thing we'll do is the switch, which is just there on a switch, and this variable resistor here. There's no particular way around that this switch is going to go. It's just got 3 legs. So put that down. You won't put that down, something's blocking it. So we've got a bit of solder there. Yes, so just there in that corner we've got just a blob of solder there, look, so let's just clean that out. So first of all I'm going to clean the soldering iron tip so there's no solder on it. Get me desoldering pump out and let's just clean that out. There we go. No, it's still got some solder in it. Yeah, that looks like it's got it. Looks better. Let's just try that again. No, we've got a blob of solder this side now. Well, I have never known a bit of solder to be so awkward. No, it's still there. Heck. I think I've finally got it. Right, let's try it now. There we go, that's better. Well, never known a bit of solder to be so awkward. Right, blue tack out. Put that on there to hold it in place. Just to show you, sorry that wasn't on camera. Right, that's got that done at last. Blue tack off. Right, and the variable resist, which I presume is some sort of speed control. Let's just put that on. It's got 3 legs again. That's slightly springy, so that should hold itself on there, which it is doing. That's got that done. Right, next thing I think we should look at is the capacitors. Right, the capacitors are here. We have, what are they? They're 10 UF, 25 volts. We've got a long leg and a short leg. Long leg is positive, and the short leg has also got this marking on the capacitor as well. That marking, so this sort of shaded area here, goes to the shaded area on the circuit board as well. So in this case, the shaded area is the left hand side, so these go there. But on here, they're on the right hand side, so just be careful when you're doing that. It's also marked up with a plus on the non-shaded side, so we know that the long leg goes to the plus. So we'll do these two first. So long leg to the plus. Bend the legs out a bit so they don't move. Now I'm just going to have a closer look. Just there where those 2 legs are. No, there's a gap. That's okay then. It looks a little bit close. But I think we're okay on that. Yeah, we're okay on that. Okay, so the next thing to do then is all the other capacitors across there. Right, so there we go. That's got all the capacitors on. So I think that's just about it for this side. We've got the IC to put on yet, so we'll do that last. We've got power to go onto here, but again, we can do that later on. That's not a problem. So what's left is the LEDs. Now obviously we know the LEDs are blue because that's what they are. But just like the capacitors, we've got a long leg and a short leg. Long leg is positive, short leg is ground. And on the circuit board itself, you'll see that the text on the board has got a plus next to it, showing you that that hole is for the plus side of the LED. If you're in any doubt, we've got our tester here, and on our tester it shows a plus at the top and a negative at the bottom. So let's put the long leg at the top, short leg at the bottom, and there it goes. Let's turn it around, let's have a quick look. So long leg at the bottom, short leg at the top, not working. So there we go. So we know that the long leg is positive, so we need to go in that way around. And again, just as we've done before, is when it's upside down, we'll just bend the leg slightly just to hold it into place. Okay, so let's get those soldered up. Right, well that's it for the main stuff. All the LEDs are now in place. Everything as far as I can see is in place. Two things to do, the IC to go on there and the power to go on there. So let's take it off the vise. Clean all the cuttings off my bench. Right. Okay, so that's the circuit board now. So what we can do is let's have a look at the IC. So here's the IC. Let's make sure all the legs are nice and straight, which they are. That's good. And just the same as before, we're looking for the little cutout. So that's just here on the IC, and that lines up with the cutout on the IC holder. So let's put that in place now. Here we go, make sure the legs are lined up and then push it into place. There we go, that's good. That's nice and tight in there. Just got to get some cable now or something for the power that goes at the side there. So let me have a quick look in my box, see what I've got. Right, I found these little connectors here, so we only need 2 of them. So we'll chop this in half. Like that. Should be able to put 2 of them on the board, okay. There we go, it's got them 2 on there, okay. We'll get our trusty bit of blue tack, put on there, and we can solder that into place. Right. Okay, so we're almost there. Getting quite excited now. Okay, so what we need now is a cable. So this is the cable. We're going to use this black and white cable. So we'll use the black for the positive and the white for the ground. There we go. And on the circuit board it says 3 to 5 volts. So what we'll do is we'll get our bench transformer. Alright, so it's 4.9, that's okay. Leave it to that. So the black was positive. And the white was ground. Let's turn the big lights out. Hopefully it should work. Aha, here we go. Right, so what it's doing then is it's doing sets of 2 or 3 LEDs and then fading behind them. Let's see if this speed alteration works here. Yep, that seems to be a lot faster. Okay, so that's the fastest it will do. Ah, that's so slow, it's on constantly. Yeah, so we've got a slight fade going on. Yeah, I quite like that. Hope you can see that all right. Yep, I quite like that. I think that's definitely a win. There's a lovely fade out of the LEDs. They don't quite go off, so there is a slight image there, but it is actually going round nice and fast. If we turn it all the way down, staying on for a lot longer. Yeah, I think that's a win. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Join me again for another video. Speak to you soon.